Hi, this is Rebecca Kokendorfer. Welcome to Atomic Mindfulness. You may be wondering, why do I have to know these micro-mindfulness techniques, these atomic techniques? Well, in a perfect world, we would be born and we would just go effortlessly through life. But that isn't most people's experience. We pick up kind of garbage along the way. Things happen, we let it stick in us, we let it mean something to us, and sometimes there are blocks that we have to overcome in order to be our authentic and our true self. And there are it's five, and I'm showing four hands, the four primary blocks. And these apply, I learned these having to do with money, but I've discovered that they apply for lots of areas in our life. Can be health, for relationships, for love. There are four primary blocks. So as you are learning these techniques, you will probably use these techniques when these blocks come up to unblock yourself, to unknot yourself, to heal yourself, because these techniques we're learning, like body scans and text work and tapping, these all help us to get over the blocks. But I want to tell you about these four blocks today because that is mindfulness as well. Is as I kind of describe them to you, ask yourself, oh, is this a block that I have? And that's very liberating. You know, the four that I'm giving you, I've got three of the four blocks going on, but I recently have had an unblocking and feeling so much better about it. So let me share these with you, and I'm hoping that they're helpful. Just kind of recognize, oh my gosh, I think I've had this going on, because these blocks are happening behind the scenes. It could be, you know, why am I not having the experience, being the person I want to be? Why am I not able to get past this, do this? It's probably because one of these four blocks. Block number one, unworthy. Yeah, that means that there is a deep part in you, maybe you even know it, that thinks there's something wrong with you, that there's something flawed about you. You're unworthy. You're unworthy to earn good money. You're unworthy to have good work. You're unworthy to have the relationship that you want, to be the person you want. Deep down, you may believe that you are unworthy. So as you are learning these techniques, I want you to really, if this feels like truth to you, that this is a block you have, I want you to tune into mantras and other things that you can do that course correct you. The Nobel Prize in Medicine, decades ago, he won the award because he discovered and proved that we have a mind that is non-physical and we have a brain that is physical. And we can use the mind to affect the brain. We can use the non-physical mind to affect the physical brain. So your job here, if you're experiencing feelings of unworthiness, I want you to really find some techniques, some ways of redirecting your brain. And mantras work really well in this. Or by finding your why. Having a why that is outside of you, bigger than you. That is another way also to get past these assumptions and blocks and deep inner beliefs of unworthiness. The second block is the fear of thinking that you will outshine others and that others won't have a chance. So this is kind of a lack mentality, isn't it? This is like a belief in a finite universe, that you having more light means less light for someone else. And so this could be a common block. Ask yourself, is this a deep feeling, a deep belief that you have, that somehow you shining, you taking your light from under the bushel, you shining and being your best self, that will somehow hurt others or take away the chance for them? And one of the mindfulness techniques that really helps me with this one is this, maybe you're doing it for somebody else, you're doing it to be a positive role model, right? Other people are watching you. Your children are watching you. You want them to watch you shining. Go ahead and model shining. And if in the beginning, if it's difficult for you to do it for yourself, do it for the people who are the loved ones who are watching you, and maybe even people further out who are watching you travel, watching you write that book, watching you love your life. And they're going to be inspired by that. Not always. Sometimes we're not our best selves, and sometimes envy comes up. So I'm sure that you have probably seen examples of that. But I like to send people love when that comes up. We're not always our best self. This is the human experience. So if you witness somebody maybe being a little judgmental or angry or mean because you're shining, just give them love and go ahead and shine, because people are watching you and you are paving a way for others. The third block is abandonment. Maybe feeling disloyal. If you earn more money than the rest of the people in your family or your friends, will you be being disloyal to them? Will you be abandoning them? So this fear of abandonment and leaving people is a very common one. So if that's yours, I just invite you to get in touch with that. The fourth block is the burden of success. And that's really common. It's fear of success, fear of responsibility. What if I have that money? Do I know how to handle it? What if I get that higher up job? That could be a lot more work. So what if I build that successful business? Fear of responsibility. That is another one. That's the fourth most common primary block. And the way through this block too, again, this mindfulness shift is perhaps to know your whys. Right? For example, a lot of times for me, when there's something big I want to do and I'm afraid, I know that my stuff is going to get stirred. So what is a why for me is that, I'm going to let this be a spiritual experience for me. As I overcome my feelings of insecurity, fear of responsibility, fear of abandoning others or being abandoned, I'm going to clean those out. I'm going to use what's happening. What if this is happening for me, not to me? So I find that to be really helpful with these blocks as well, is thinking of it as a spiritual journey, thinking of it as an experience you want to have, allowing yourself to do learning by doing. Those all work as well. I hope that these 4 blocks are eye-opening for you. So as you learn these techniques, put the techniques in the toolbox, because these are primary blocks for a reason. So many people have them. Maybe you only have 1. Maybe you're like me. If I've got 3 out of the 4, I require a lot of work. It isn't always easy being me. It isn't always pretty up there. And I find I have to manage my emotions quite often. So I have a pretty full tool chest, and I'm so glad I do. So find these tools, build your tool chest, because when life gets lifey, you're going to be able to center yourself, recognize that it's just a block coming up, release that block, and then shift. You use your mind to shift your brain and your emotions. All right, this is Rebecca with Journaling.com, sending you lots of love.